Wanted to be here by 9:30.
Yeah, no, we start at 9.
Okay, well, he's on his way in.
All righty.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, everyone. It is Friday Eve. So everybody should be happy. And we are going to have a great day. It's a busy day. So people in the gallery, let me just tell you, some of you are not on the docket. You're here to support people. One, this is not a love fest, so do not be hugged up in the courtroom. Number two, the deputy is going to tell you, do not talk to any of the inmates that are going to be out in the box. If you want to visit them, you'll have to visit them at the jail. This is not visitation. When you start talking to them in the box, what ends up happening is that put the deputies even on higher alert because they are in charge of security. The other thing, Bashan, George is going fishing. I've already told him, be careful out there. He's saying the water is shallow. He's going to be just fine. So, because Robert and Renee, we all know when anything happens with an attorney, I don't care if you just got your license. What does the news say? Prominent attorney. So let's not be prominent attorneys or prominent judge. But he told me he's going to be careful. So it'll be fun. Yeah. What are you fishing for? What are you hoping to catch?
Sorts of thing, redfish, trout, you know.
Do you clean them?
Again,
I said, are you going to clean them if you catch it?
if I have to, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Before you go fishing, you need to watch The Incredible Mr. Limpet.
Yeah.
It could be Don Knotts. We don't know. If he's talking, do you keep him or do you put him back or do you keep him and try to sell him?
Well, no, I mean, we keep very few, we return most of them.
All right. So if you pull the fish in and it starts speaking to you like in the Incredible Mr. Limpet, are you gonna put it back?
I'm
Or?
gonna keep that one.
It reminds me, Deputy Laura, of the cartoon. You remember the frog that talked and danced?
Michigan frog?
Yeah. And then when he would be on spotlight, he wouldn't say anything. All right, everyone. It's 9:00. I'm going to call the docket. When I call the docket, stand and let me know you're here. Otherwise, I'm going to assume you're not here and a warrant may be issued for your arrest. Eric Michael Jones. Eric Michael Jones. John Valenciano, custody. Hank Maldonado. Anthony Harris. Adriel Guy, custody. Eduardo Porter III. Thank you. Marcus Trammell.
Present, Your Honor.
Thank you. Reggie Rice, custody. Johnny Walker Brown.
Present, Your Honor.
Thank you. Randy Lissy.
Present, Your Honor.
Thank you. Cody Salazar, custody. Marlon Daniels.
Judge, he's on his way. We spoke to him. He'll be here in about 5-10 minutes.
All right, let me know when he arrives.
I will.
Raymond McKinney, Nicholas Cameron, custody. Christy Leslie Brown. Christy Leslie Brown. All right, Andres Tamayo has been reset at the request of attorney by the attorney to November 21st. So state he's been reset. Sandra Torres, custody. Julian Andrew Rodriguez. Julian Andrew Rodriguez.
I'll give a call.
All right, thank you. Eric Kelly,
Your Honor.
you. Miles Fenton,
Here.
thank you. Jacob Jesus Leal. Jacob Jesus Leal. Oh, hospital. All right, thank you. And could you pull that file for me too? Lindsay Phillips, custody. Dominique Nicholson, custody. Jonathan Alfaro, custody. Tyler Ashbaugh. I think that should not be on the docket, but I'll double check. Roberto Andrade. I'm moving to the next page. Otillo Espinoza Ruiz. Thank you. Jonathan Alfaro, custody. Alex Miasek. Jesse Vega, Joe Para, custody. Mariah Lopez, Jonathan Morales, Michael Aguirre, custody. And Arturo Martinez, Sandra Gayton. Hey, could you pull that for me, please? Mario Vargas, Paul Marceau. Is that French? Okay. Richard Baker, custody. Kylan Gutierrez, Joe Villarreal, Joshua Perez, custody. Jonathan Boyd. I don't think that should be on the docket. I don't know why that's here. Eduardo Reyes, custody. Jennifer Hernandez, custody. Dennis Johnson has been reset for December 19th stake at the request of the defense attorney. Andrew Leha, custody. Is there anyone who came in late or your name was not called? What is your name? You need to stand. Do you know your case number or SID number? Three, three. All right. All right, just have a seat. We'll get with you. Anyone else? All right, attorneys, here's a quick tutorial. If you all will follow through on this, things will run smoothly. For the first time ever, I gave instructions to a jury panel and they followed these instructions. So attorneys, do I have faith that you'll follow these instructions? Not really. They're not, but I'm gonna try. So we have a lot of inmates today. So you need to request your inmate from the deputy. You are not ready to approach unless you have the deputy bring your inmate out. Once they brought your inmate out and you requested your inmate, do not leave the courtroom because they can only have so many inmates in the box for security reasons. If your client wants to speak to me in a language other than English, you're not ready to approach until you've let the coordinator or clerk know that you need an interpreter. And guess what? When everything is ready, they're going to put your file up here. I'm going to call you in order of appearance. That's the way to go. So don't say, hey, can you let me skip over other attorneys because I need to be out of here? You need to speak to the other attorneys about that and see if they give you permission to do that. Otherwise, the answer is going to be no. So please do not stare me down because you think you're ready. I'm calling people in the order of appearance. That's the way it works. The court reporter is here. Attorneys, you've always failed at this. Please do not fail at this. When we are on the record, that means that I've called the style of the case. If you're in the box, don't talk behind the court reporter because it makes it difficult for her to hear. It's difficult for me to hear. When I call the case, do not stand up here because again, it makes it difficult for me to hear. And if we follow these rules, this will truly be a great Friday Eve. So everyone, please confer. All right, thank you. State Jacob Leal is going to be recalled for January 9th. I received notice that he's in the hospital with no release date. And if the attorney appears, just make sure that he has all the discovery.
Oh, hello. My bad. Thank you, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. These are for this, and the other one for this, it's uncredited, Bexar, and they, so. You set a bond for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
We grab, not it. Wait, you give your clients It looks like he's got two of these. Oh, mating with Vietnam, mating, okay, so this is just regular mating, this isn't a mating.
And yeah. Can you look somebody up by SID number to see if they're on the docket in this court? It's 107
Well, then.
3339.
Okay, you can talk
Oh,
to
I was asking Sean to look over her notes on that one.
All right. Oh, thank you.
Because it doesn't show it, I think. Going on, but there may be a supplemental.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Hello.
Did Danny do the bench trial yesterday?
Oh, no. So what ended up happening, we started on a jury trial.
Hmm.
We selected a jury and then the state's witnesses didn't show,
Oh,
the officers. So
there you go.
the defendant was very happy. No, but they're not gonna re-file it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Can I see the file on Tyler Ashball, please?
Even the first one, Judge.
All right, thank you. Oh, he is?
Yes, Judge.
Oh, well, then I guess I don't need the file. I guess he's supposed to be here. I thought I had just seen him.
And we're ready.
He's under, he's been. He did.
That's the way it's.
We all- One, that, the other section.
Judge, may I announce briefly?
Sure.
With regard to my client, he's not here as of yet, Judge, but I have another court to run to.
Sure.
If I may return and see if he may be surfaced, and if not,
Yes.
maybe announce them.
Yes,
Thank you, Judge.
you're welcome. Deputy Laura, the medicine ball is good today. Yes. All right. Mario Vargas. Miss, you'll need to have a seat. Mario Vargas. All right, if you'll come forward. All right, and I think this had to do with restitution.
It did, Your Honor.
All right, who's the prosecutor on this?
Anyone from trial division, I suppose, looks like Jason's the only one here this morning.
Okay,
There is one here.
well, let me interrupt that. Jason,
No idea.
sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
All right, this is restitution. And I don't know if y'all have received this.
This is the first I've looked at
Do
it.
you mind if we step away and I
Sure.
kind of get him up to speed a little bit?
Okay.
Zero, one, zero.
What I do. Yeah.
Yes.
Here's.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
One thirty. Don't scroll it out. My hair was super fast too. Do you know if she has any add-ons? But she's, I recall, I talked to. Asked her. Said that she wasn't on the docket, but maybe she's on her list. Yeah, no, I had called Norma to just put it on the docket. Yeah, if you don't mind.
Hey, how's it going?
Just want to come and say good morning to you. How are you?
Great. Your son always come down. Just tell you, you did such a great job with him.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
In fact, he's got a case set for trial in your court this morning.
Yeah.
So I was telling my friends, I go, you've heard of, parents taking the children to day work.
Yeah.
This is child taking his parent to day work.
Oh, that is so awesome. But he's great.
Oh,
And I know
thank
he's
you.
going to be fabulous.
Thank you. I appreciate it. He's still afraid of me, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, that is. But he is so respectful. I just admire him. You did a fantastic job.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. I always say that he's my greatest accomplishment.
Oh, yeah, he's fabulous. I tell you what, the deputies and everybody love him because he just comes in. He's like, excuse me, could I have this? He's not any of the, he
Yeah,
he
not
doesn't
in
do
your
that
face.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always said, being kind is the cheapest gift you can give to yourself and to others,
Oh, yeah.
and it comes back to you. Is it your birthday?
Yeah, it's my birth month. I celebrate the entire month.
I celebrate the year.
Yeah, yeah.
Every day is
You
my
see,
day.
yeah.
Every day is my day.
But yeah, he is so fabulous.
Well, thank you and happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Well,
We
I'm-
always enjoy seeing him come in. I'm like, it's gonna be a great day.
Well, he's gonna try a case, so I said, I'll sit with you.
Okay,
So I'm gonna kind of like.
okay. Well, I will tell you, we normally don't select juries on Thursdays.
That's what I figured. I think it was gonna be a trial announcement.
Yes.
And I told him, he goes, Mom, I've never, I go, you always have to find out. I go, you ask the court, when is the trial setting
Yeah.
itself? I go, then you ask about voir dire. How does she like to conduct voir dire?
Oh, yeah.
How do you like to conduct closing?
The mom and son here.
Yeah, we're tag teaming, but I go, these are the things you need to know. And
Yeah.
if the judge is busy, then just ask the bailiff, because they'll know.
Oh, yeah, they will.
They'll know. So anyways, I'll let you get back to work.
All
but
right,
it's
awesome. Good seeing you. Hello, yes.
Judge, I was unaware.
Okay.
Of the restitution, and I know that puts Jeb in a bind, but, the victim I have not spoken to.
Okay.
I know probation has, and they received letters that say certain things that,
Or is he saying it's more than this?
yes, and there's a discrepancy possibly with the amount that he was received from the insurance company.
Okay.
I mean, so I would ask for just a small reset so that we can, again, I would have done this my third year.
No, no, no,
so
no
I
problem.
apologize.
Can you have your client come up?
And Judge, I mean, it's a situation that I would mind if there's clients.
Mhm.
No objections, it's certainly the state's fault that.
All right. All right, so Mr. Vargas, what we're gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to reset your case because I don't want something to happen where I say that restitution is satisfied and it's not, or if something happens with the civil side, because I'm saying it's satisfied and it's not. So the state just needs to check into a couple of things. If you all agree that the restitution is satisfied, we won't need a hearing. You all just let me know the restitution hearing is satisfied. If you have to work or something of that nature, you can zoom in. You won't have to appear. All right. So I thank you so much for coming down. And thank you. You always dress appropriately for court. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. So here's the question though. When do y'all want to come back?
Depends on his work schedule, Judge.
All
That
right.
can happen.
All right. So what's your work schedule?
I work Monday through Friday from 7 to 4.
So
All
I
right.
mean, I would have to take a day off.
No. Do you have a lunch break?
Yeah. it's
Legally, they have to give,
Yeah, it's
first
at-
time I got a job, my mom said, this is when your lunch breaks are supposed to be. This is
Yeah.
how many minutes you get.
My lunch breaks are from noon to 12:45.
Make that work. Y'all, we'll just have to be here.
No problem.
We'll do it at noon. And again, we may not even need you. If they agree that the restitution is satisfied, you won't have to appear by Zoom and your attorney can just call you.
Okay.
So how much time do y'all want?
Sometime next week, I think would be fine. So it's okay with you guys.
Let me see. All right, y'all want to do it the 21st?
21st?
Yes.
Yes, that's a.
All right, so what we'll do is we'll put you down for November 21st for restitution hearing. And Jason, do you need a copy of this?
I'm sorry.
Do you need a copy?
I was gonna ask Jeb for copies. I don't know if he has copies, but if not, I'll get copies from the.
Just make copies.
All right, if y'all need to make one in the back or something, you can.
Okay, Judge, thank you. And Jeb, do you mind?
Thank you, Justin.
making copies?
Yeah.
All right, can I have a reset form, please? And
Thank you,
Mr. Vargas, I'm going to give you a reset form, but no, you can appear by Zoom.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Oh, Deputy Laura, I'm getting feedback. Something happened.
Yeah, right. Even if I don't get out.
Here you are, Jeb.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Norma? Okay. All right, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm sorry?
Can you pull your mic closer?
Oh, sure. All right, are you able to hear me now?
Say something?
Testing? Oh, she said she can't hear me. All right, thank you. Norma, do you think that's safe? You want to put it here? Okay, all right, because I don't have a key for my office.
Ready on Simpson on Highland.
Try it again, Judge.
Testing. Ah, is that it? Can you hear still? Am I whispering? Okay, I have no idea I don't. Am I whispering?
Not anymore.
Thank you.
Not anymore.
It's this one.
You need to use the loud, yeah.
I am.
I use it again, Judge.
Testing.
Much better.
All right.
Testing.
Yeah, man. All right, that's Mario Vargas. Oh, and Todd, I'm just reviewing I see there's some letters included. So I'm reviewing those.
My client just walked in. I wanted the judge to see him.
All right, thank you.
And if you want to call his name out, have him stand up just.
Oh, I trust you.
Okay,
Yeah.
and he's here.
All right, thank you.
And we've conferred. I don't know what we do at this point.
Oh, you just have them pull the file. And then I'll call you in order of appearance.
Okay, yeah, Marlon and Daniels. Yeah.
So do I. Yeah, so is mine. Yeah. Because you don't have any high left. I think it's current, it's a couple of feet. So, there was the television.
Marlon Daniels.
You're good.
All right, come forward. Hello, Mr. Daniels. All right, make sure you're on time next time, okay?
I tried to get here, man, but got caught up in traffic.
All right, we have to, you have to
I know, right?
time it. Thank you for dressing appropriately. Where are we on discovery?
Judge, I got the indictment last week or so.
Last week,
Yeah, and
because we were
Then-
here on September.
that's when we got it.
Okay.
I talked to counsel. We're gonna file a motion for the blood draw laboratory stuff. It has not been filed yet. And then I talked to counsel and he was gonna, if I give him a hard drive, he's gonna put everything on it for me.
Okay. All right, so when do you anticipate giving them the hard drive and following the motion?
I can get it over there, the first of next week.
All right, and also I'll need the blood discovery file the first of next week as
I'll
well.
get that right away and, so that should be on the way there. Now, there is a possibility, well, there's a realistic issue regarding the blood biscuits, the blood tubes.
Mhm.
I have a toxicologist that I want to retest the blood.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna have to file a motion to that effect.
All right, needs to be filed next week.
Okay, I'll do that next week. And I don't know how long that is gonna take, but we're gonna do that.
All right, Norma, on this case, have them come back on January 9th for discovery. And I'm notating all of those motions, they need to be filed next week
I will
Right.
definitely do that.
before you go on your fishing trip.
Well, that's every weekend, so
Yes.
he's the bondsman.
You buy your notice on this?
What's that?
You appointed?
No, he was retained as a bondsman.
No, but you yourself, were you hired or were you?
I'm retained, yeah.
Retained? Can you file your notice? Was your notice filed? This is stuff?
Pretty sure we filed it, but
Okay, because it's not showing up. It shows up as Carlos Martinez. So they do have notice of retained counsels in back. And so if you could just fill that out so they can put it in the
all right.
system
He
today.
was the first one to file because he was the bail bondsman.
Okay,
Yeah, but he's not involved in the case itself.
All right,
But I'll
so-
get that done today.
all right. Is there anything else?
That's all we have.
Norma, recall this for January 9th, please.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is he excused now?
Once he signs the reset form.
Oh, I see. Okay, very good. Let me get it. Just gotta see it. Okay. Do I have to get the DA to sign?
No, just yourself and Josh. Thank you so much. Which one? She can get out. Sorry.
Wait a minute. We might have done that last time, like that.
What's the name?
What? So did I just use the same one? Just change the date?
Yeah, we can just change the date. We wanted. No.
No, I'll do. it. I have to talk to him first, so I don't move it up there yet.
Yeah.
Not that I have some- like the last email that I got. All I got these two, all I got.
Let me know.
And Norma, can you call Michael Sawyer?
Yes. Did you get the file?
But Sean, you're ready on Samantha Saldana?
Yes.
What is this? I know you are.
The attorney wanted to go process.
Oh, on Samantha Saldana?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what we don't. So I don't know.
All right. So we'll wait.
She's here, but.
Okay. I don't know who her attorney is. Oh,
He's here. He's here. He's right here in front of us.
Oh,
Who's he talking?
your client was here.
He does.
She wanted to know why.
and Norm, I just sent an email to you. Oh, bless you. You're welcome. And Todd, just let me know whenever you're ready. All right. Jason, are you ready on Halen Gutierrez? It's a sentencing?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Mr. Gutierrez, if you'll come down. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 009938, State of Texas versus Kylan Michael Gutierrez. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Good morning, Your Honor. Todd McCray on behalf of Mr. Gutierrez.
And are you Mr. Gutierrez?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, you entered a plea of no contest on October 29th. The PSI was waived. The state waived the repeater paragraph without objection. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. According to your plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 10 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine, and the state is opposed to your application for community supervision or deferred adjudication. I believe both parties agreed to the waiving of the PSI. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
All right. All right, state the court was in receipt of a letter from Mr. Gutierrez. It was filed as a part of the PSI that they wanted me to consider, at least it's labeled PSI at the top. State, did you have any objections to the court previously reading that? And have you had a chance to read it? All right, I'll tender it to you to review. And the state did receive a copy of the TAP evaluation, is that correct? Yeah. Thank you. All right, thank you. So have both parties had a chance to review the TAP evaluation?
Yes, Judge.
Any objections to the TAP evaluation? All right, and the court has reviewed the TAP evaluation. I know that when this was reset, I asked that I be given his criminal history. There's a criminal history that is attached within the TAP evaluation. It shows the disposition that some of the cases were dismissed. Is there any other cases other than what's in the TAP evaluation? And of course, what was in the indictment with that repeater paragraph being waived?
I don't have my file down here right now, so I was ready, but if you like, I could go ask for somebody to bring it down. So then you can get the PCIC and CIC for you.
Okay, all right, let's do that. Oh, no problem. All right, just have a seat and we'll get back. Hello, Michael.
Hey, Judge, how are you?
Hi, all right. How's my little one?
Oh, he's fat and happy.
He's such a cutie.
We started swim lessons, so that's been super fun.
Oh, wow.
He's enjoying.
See, I need to get my niece with swim lessons.
It seems kind of silly at that age because all you do is drag them around in the water, but he enjoys it.
Yeah.
It tires him out and he sleeps on the way home. So
That's
it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah. Cases, so there was a.
She was supposed to be.
I'll try that. It's still a silly. I check it out.
I mean, other was it nice? Well, it was fun. What did I say? It was said, yeah. Yeah.
So it looks like, yeah, so he was stopped at the stoplight, light turned green, he took off at the great speed. That officer was activated the lights lights. Your guy continued to drive at a high rate of speed, right turn on to Gulf Road. And then he was able to, officer pull this and trying to go to the guy's vehicle. They were moving to the cars, it's not compliant. I think I'm over not for it, but well, then the transported for debating my assumption is I mean, after I did a blood draw. She well, oh my God. Well, that's right. I don't know to hear every single day. I don't know.
Eric Jones. Eric Michael Jones. Christy Brown. All right, just have a seat. Julian Rodriguez. Julian Andrew Rodriguez.
Well, I consider that back.
Deputy Laura, someone in San Antonio won $3 million. I'm not gonna say.
We already know what we need to do, what phone call.
Yeah.
And
Well,
where to meet.
Let me just tell you, I made phone calls, nobody answered.
Maybe judge. No missed calls on the phone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I think you're on Mr. Melvin. I believe that the state is looking at, there was a couple of cases that had been investigated with, and so they're percolating. I'm gonna go to another court. Oh, wow. Because Morales, I showed him that 44. He must have transferred his work. Okay, good deal. Call it 2 months. I do that. Thanks.
Just find a waiver of appeal.
We have to print them out.
That's a very reasonable question. I wasn't ready for. Hold on a second. 2022, sorry, 2020, my apologies. CR 12349.
This is our actual certificate. There's the appeal form. We're back.
Oh. You know, as long as you solve my problem and it's not too painful for me.
It's gonna be 2 copies of it, since we don't have a carbon copy.
Sure.
Generate.
And do I need to go get it from the back?
No.
Oh, okay.
There's no one in that shit.
All right, well, then it's pretty easy for me not to. So what I'm gonna do is, she needs to sign 2 documents. One is the waiver of appeal. Everything else here is signed. So I would like to turn it into you when they bring her out. I'll just turn these other 2 in. We can move forward.
Sorry, I'd stepped out to talk about this. Related to Samantha Saldana.
Judge, ready on top.
All right. Did you confer with the state?
I have your order, yes.
Rashawn, what is the issue on Saldana?
Judge, there was a supplemental report sent in requesting the removal of her scram device.
Okay,
And as you know, with those type of removals, the court requires the ADA's input.
yes.
And the ADA at the time, Mr. Garahan stated after her community service hours were complete and DWI intervention completion, then we can consider removing this scram. And the court ordered to continue with the current conditions. This was back in September, Judge. As of today, she did finish with the requirements to satisfy all of her community service hours and has not had any compliance issues, to include no tampers or any kind of positives with her scram.
All right, and I think she's been on some sort of device since 2020,
2018.
2018. All right. All right, can I have the state, please? And could you have your client come forward?
I'm sorry.
Have your client come forward?
Yes.
Judge, just let you know, there's a comment ready to go.
Okay. All right, Miss Sodonia, how you doing? Okay, you're looking a little, what's going on?
I'm not,
Oh, what's happening?
I
Just 1 second.
at the moment.
This. So they're asking to remove a scram. I will tell you all, I'm inclined to agree to remove a scram. I do have some questions because when people are going through things, sometimes they fall back into other habits. So, knowing that there are issues going on with her, is there any objections to the removal of scram? Or should we get some sponsor or something in place for her?
The issues that are known to me, Your Honor, are she's a single mother, 5 children, no assistance from any of the fathers. She has lost her job some months back, and that resulted in her eviction. She has since moved in with the only family, and I use that term relatively because this is a relative via one of the children,
Okay.
her blood relative, and it is through the graciousness of that individual that her children have a place to even be.
Okay.
And that's compounded with, she knows that she has these requirements under probation, that her probation is set to terminate in October of next year, and that she is fearful of, she knows, she's aware that the court has the ability to extend her. She is fearful of what cascading events may happen.
Well, here's the thing. Let me just tell you, I'm not in your situation, but I try to deal with life on a day-to-day basis. You can't get too far in the future. You can always set goals and say, hey, in 5 years, this is what I want to be doing, but you can't have all of that rain down you on one time, because otherwise, if you don't take it step by step and day by day, it's just going to become overwhelming. All right. So is there any objections to the removal of the device?
I had where of some non-compliance.
Okay.
If it's in compliance and it's met the area that the court assessed initially, it would not be addressed.
All right. So probation has informed the court that she's in compliance, community service hours, everything is going well.
Everything's
right.
going well. There is still the exception of the DWI intervention course. I did review the file one more time, Judge. She did have a TAP completed in September. The TAP came back with no recommendations of any type of treatment. They basically said she was doing pretty good.
All right. So this is what I'll do then. I will allow the removal of scram. I'm a little bit leery of doing it because I see that you have issues going on. This is what I'm going to have you to do. Does she have any other community service that's outstanding?
No, Judge.
All right. What does she have outstanding?
I believe she has the DWI intervention and the monies that are owed.
And the monies? All right, this is what I'm going to do. And that monies is court costs?
Court costs, fine, and supervision fees.
All right, I'm not going to do anything with the supervision fee. You're going to have to pay the supervision fee. But I will probate your fines. But in order for me to do that, I'm going to require that you get a sponsor. All right. So if you get a sponsor, it's improving yourself and you don't have to pay court costs. Okay. So today, when you leave here, I want you to find out from probation or find out from your attorney where you can go to have a sober support meetings. And I will tell you, those meetings are great because it's community and you can talk about any issues you're having and you don't have to worry about people repeating it because it's supposed to be confidential. Of course, if you're going in there and saying you murdered somebody, you know, all bets are probably gonna be off, but you will have a lifetime movie named after you. So let's not do that, all right? But any other issues, talk to them and let them know what's going on. Now, other than this, with housing or something, is there something, some program we can perhaps refer her to with regards to housing?
Judge, I'll speak with Ms. Saldana to see what other issues may be present and give her what she needs.
All right, and I'm not gonna probate the fine. I'm gonna waive the fine upon your obtaining a sponsor. And the difference between waiving and probating, if I probate it and you don't successfully complete it, I can still make you pay the $1,500 fine. With waiving it, for you to go to get your sober coach and go to meetings, it doesn't come back. All right, is there anything else you need from the court? All right, keep up the good work, okay?
Judge, do you want to have her just do like AA meetings once a week? So
Yes,
that we
She
can make
did.
sure.
Yeah.
She did 60 support meetings in 60 days on the last, when we were here last in court in May. And she completed that successfully. She has those resources available and she knows how to get back.
all
to
right,
them.
let's do this. Let's do, because I'm concerned, right? And I don't want you to mess up. So let's do once a week and you get yourself a sponsor. Sometimes it takes a while to get a sponsor, okay? Somebody that you feel comfortable with. So we'll do sober support meetings once a week until she gets a sponsor,
Yes, Judge.
okay? Is there anything else?
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, just let me write this down and I'll call you up. Yes. All right, how long do they think this is gonna take?
We haven't confirmed yet, Judge.
Okay, well, can you let him know they're confirmed?
Yeah.
I've got to go to another board. But it's back.
And let's see. Norma, what page is Samantha Saldana on? Okay. Thank you. All right, Todd, you all ready? All right, we're back on the record in 2024 CR 009938, State versus Kylan Michael Gutierrez. Mr. Gutierrez, if you'll come down, and could parties re-announce for the record, State?
Jason Garahan for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Good morning, Todd McCray for Mr. Gutierrez.
All right. And defense, any objections to the court reviewing the NCIC, TCIC?
No, Your Honor.
All right, court has reviewed the documents. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
Judge, he has three, his mom is here, Miss Gutierrez, his father is here, Mr. Gutierrez, and the girlfriend that's mentioned in the letter is also present. I can proffer what they would say.
All right, any objections to the defense making proffers as opposed to calling the witnesses? All right, and where are the witnesses in the courtroom?
Mr. Gutierrez, would you stand up, please? And Miss Gutierrez? And Miss Salcedo?
All right,
that's it.
thank you. You may be seated. All right, counsel, you may proceed.
Judge, first of all, you could see he's supported here by his family. His father, Mr. Gutierrez, is a retired police officer. He served 30, looking at my notes here, he served 32 years as a police officer in New Orleans. He's married to Mr. Gutierrez's mother. They're very law-abiding people here in the community. They don't condone the substance abuse history that you see that Mr. Gutierrez has. They're very supportive of his application for community supervision in the community. And they would testify that they would like the court to grant his application for community supervision. They believe he understands his responsibilities in the community and to his family, and that he would make a good candidate for community supervision.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Could you speak up? Probation can't hear.
Excuse me. And his present girlfriend, who is the person would testify that the firearm belonged to her. It ended up in a backpack. She did not know, because the relationship had just started, that he was not permitted to have a firearm. It was in a backpack where his clothes were located. He took the backpack because his clothes were there. Didn't realize the firearm was in there, although that's very reckless. And the offense actually includes a reckless component. Mr. Gutierrez has accepted responsibility for his reckless behavior and not checking that backpack and knowing what was in there. So she would confirm what you read in his statement about the fact that the backpack belonged to her. He was stopped carrying the backpack on a bicycle. He was on a sidewalk instead of the roadway when he was stopped by the police. So that was the probable cause to stop. And there was a warrant for his arrest. He's been on parole for a long time, since he was released from a substance abuse conviction back in 2019. He served well in parole and never turned any dirty UAs into parole. There were some technical violations where, while he was in parole, he did serve a term in the state ISF for substance abuse. And while he was incarcerated, Judge, he also was in the therapeutic community there. So the TAP evaluation says that he's not motivated for treatment, but I have talked to him about this, and he would willingly accept any programs or counseling that the court believes is appropriate as a probation condition. He just feels like that he has had counseling, and he presently doesn't have a drug problem, although he will acknowledge the influence that illegal substances have had on his life. He just wants the court to know he hasn't used any controlled substances since his release on parole. He was employed while he was on parole. He's working for Ashley Furniture. The only reason he lost that is because when he went into the ISF program, He obviously couldn't hold that employment, so he's employable. His girlfriend, Miss Salcedo, would tell the court that she is interested in a long-term relationship with him. She will not have any weapons anywhere near him. She knows now that that's prohibited for him to have any kind of firearms or illegal weapons. And she's offered him a place to reside. She'll let him stay with her, and she wants to continue the relationship. He'd like to be a good citizen in the community. He'd like to comply with any conditions whatsoever, any conditions that the court wants to impose. His parole term has already really expired, and he understands that it is up to parole whether to reinstate it or not. But I think parole would take into consideration if the court were to grant a community service application. He is respectfully and humbly asking the court to grant his community service application. And based on my communications with him, I think you have a sincere defendant here begging for your consideration of his application for probation.
All right. Any witnesses?
Other than the proffer of the 3 witnesses, that's all I have, Judge.
All right. All right, State, you are opposed?
Yes, we are.
All right, I'll hear your argument, State.
States, first of all, individuals have previously convicted felonies, including by felons. That I believe the CIC so that he did serve prison time. And then the officer has a drug case that the officer served prison time. And for those reasons, Judge, the state is opposed to vision. And the last 10 years, that's part of it.
All right, defense court will hear your argument.
Judge, I would, if he wanted to address the court, I would call him as a witness.
All right, do you wish to address the court?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Ivan Michael Figueres.
All right, do you want to do this question or answer, or is there something you wish to say?
Did you just want to address the court about, in terms of an allocution about why you believe you would be a good candidate for community supervision?
Remember, I have a brief statement. May I be able to pull out a read to you, please?
Sure. But I will tell you this, the state will have an opportunity to question you if they choose to question you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And state, you have no objection to him reading a statement?
No.
All right, you may proceed.
Honorable Judge Boyer, thank you for considering my application for probation. I wrote this to briefly explain my desires within my heart and my life. My support system is in court today. My father, a Vietnam veteran, a 30 retired officer in New Orleans, a great loving mother, and a beautiful girlfriend who I will be residing with, who will take me to every appointment, community service, and etc. if granted community supervision. My girlfriend, Alana Salcedo, and I will be investing in a truck for a moving company for appliances and reassembling and disassembling furniture locally throughout San Antonio. May 26, 2024 was my 5th anniversary of sobriety. From 2020 to 2023, I had a stable job, a car, and a home. Please give me an opportunity to show you and myself that I am a perfect candidate for probation, freedom, instead of falling into another statistic and becoming just a number lost in the penitentiary. And if you feel to not grant me probation, Ms. Boyd, please have mercy on me and give me a number my family and I can handle so I can continue my rehabilitation from imprisonment and addiction, and once again be a productive member of society. Thank you for hearing my part of my testimony. God bless you, Judge Boyd.
All right, thank you. All right, state, any questions?
Yes, but did you get to prison in 2016 for unlawful possession of a firearm?
Yes, sir.
And then you also went to prison for a separate drug charges, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And have you, in any gang?
I'm not being affiliated.
No further questions.
All right, anything else?
That's all I have, Judge.
All right, state, you're asking for 10 years? All right, Mr. Gutierrez, I want you to know that I listened to everything that you said. I listened to the proffer by your attorney, and it's no doubt in my mind that the witnesses who are here for support for you would have said great things about you. But with that being said, after listening to everything and reviewing the documents that were presented before me, I don't think you'll be a good candidate for probation. So I'm going to find you guilty. The state is asking for 10 years. Defense, what are you requesting?
Judge, he has about 4 months of credit. He's been incarcerated since the arrest. We had asked the court to consider the lower end of the term. You've heard his allocution to the court. He's asking for a sentence that would be something that would permit him to be released sooner rather than later. So we'd ask the court for the lower end of the range, please.
All right, the court is going to sentence you to a $2,000 fine, time and money to run concurrent. Court will give you credit for any time served. The court will recommend the therapeutic community. The court will sentence you to 8 years in the prison. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question on what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. I understand that you wanted, probation, but I have to balance certain things, look at everything that is presented to me. When you're released, if you have trouble finding a place that can help you, if I'm still here, you can come back to the court and I'll pick up the phone and call some people, okay? All right, good luck to you. Thank you. Cody Salazar.
Present, ready, Judge. Come on, Cody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
Okay. All right, where are we on discovery?
Yeah, discovery has been filed with defense. However, my advocate spoke with the complainant this morning. It was a very lengthy conversation. There are several notes that I need to review. So I was asking for a 30-day reset. And I did alert defense about the phone call. There may be some information I need to disclose to defense after I review this notes.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 30-day reset. And it's discovery. This will be the final discovery.
Thank you, Judge.
And state on this day, you'll need to tender an offer as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I can do the number 16.
All right, December 16th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Deputy Laura, he's excused. What page is Cody Salazar on? Thank you. Paul Marceau.
Yes.
They're coming up.
Have you conferred with the state?
We have your.
All right, he has a violation report. Who's the prosecutor on Paul Marceau? All right, he has an offense date for your case of 5/13/24, and there's a new alleged offense on November 3rd, 2024.
I think it was 23, Judge, or 22, actually.
It says offense date here.
Oh, for the new one, I'm sorry, Judge, yeah, 11/3, I think.
All right.
Yes, sir. At this time, the state would be asking for a bond increase. Due to the new offense while he's on bond for a violent offense. Additionally, alcohol was involved not only in the underlying offense, but also in the offense. Here, the defendant evaded police on a high-speed chase and got out. There was alcohol on his breath. And there's that's the same for. Like, wise, he does have. So that does make a state concern for the safety. This time, he has to turn on. So 20,000.
All right. So is he on GPS?
He's not, Judge.
All right, would GPS solve your concerns? Would GPS solve your concerns?
Like a projection.
All right, do you want to speak to GPS?
Very briefly on it, if I can briefly respond to what the prosecutor said, Judge, what we do know about this new case is that Mr. Marceau got a speeding ticket for doing 57 and 45. There was no high-speed chase, even though I've not seen any discovery. The state graciously let me look at a police report. That what I can tell the court was he wasn't arrested for DWI and he wasn't intoxicated. He wasn't investigated for that.
And what I can tell you is I'm not considering that. The only thing I'm looking at that's in the violation report is that he had a case, currently a case with an offense date of 2/28/23. And then there's a new case of 11/3/2024. The state is requesting a bond increase. In order for the court to increase a bond, I'll need witnesses. So what the court is going to do due to that, the court is not going to do a bond increase, but the court is going to order a GPS. Are you employed?
At the moment, no, ma'am.
All right. So the court is going to order a full GPS. I can order the fees be waived, but then that would mean that he would have to go to the jail to get the GPS.
May I speak to that very briefly, Your Honor?
Sure.
So Mr. Marceau was fully employed before and he lost his job because of the nature of the allegation.
Okay.
So when he says he's not employed, I think that what we're saying is he's not employed in his profession. But I believe that he is doing, I think you'd call it casual work. So if the court does.
What type of work is he doing?
Just mainly just odd jobs for family and friends, house sitting, landscape stuff, watch their dog, whatever, whatever I can do.
He's doing whatever he can to make ends meet right now, you know, like I said, because of the case that he's got, the nature of it, he lost his chosen profession. He is right now doing whatever he can to make ends meet.
All right, then what I'll do, state, is I'll do partial GPS for work, but these odd jobs that you're doing, you're going to need to provide a letter to pretrial services from that person saying he's going to be working here, whatever date it's going to be, and the time frame you will be there. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is there anything else?
Not from defense, Your Honor, not at this time.
All right, then you are excused. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, just let me put this in the system. Yes.
Did it print on mine and not yours?
Which, yeah, was that the seal or trespass?
Yes.
May I just get confirmation on his case, on the last case you just heard?
Yes.
Did you want the fees waived on that?
Well, the only time I can waive the fees is if he goes through the jail. Is that correct? Or can he waive it
Oh,
on
yeah,
this?
that's correct.
So that's the only way I can do it. Otherwise, I can't do it. I mean, I'll write waive fees on there. I can tell you what they're going to do. They're going to send it back and say they can't.
No problem, Judge. At least if he owes money, he won't get revoked for it. So I'll tell him to.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
We trade you.
Then I'm going to do this quick. All right, who is here on Phillips? Lindsay Phillips.
Your Honor, Eddie Browning.
All right, if y'all will come down.
I say that more so I don't forget who I am. That's because you don't know. So you're a strong speaker. You have to speak out. Don't yell, okay? But just speak out because she has to leave and she has to leave. Both
All
of
right,
them.
court is calling 2020 CR 12349, State versus Lindsay Phillips. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? All right.
Eddie Brofnick for Miss Phillips.
Oh, go continue. You can continue to confer. Raymond or Ashley? Can you all?
Yes. Please be somebody stand in.
Yes.
Michael Miller, up on stage.
All right, counsel, have you received all of the discovery?
I have, Your Honor.
Did you review it with your client?
I did, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Phillips, did you review the application for community supervision with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
Stated appears that you're proceeding on the indictment as presented. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? It's this documents that tell you what your rights are? All right, you're charged with arson with intent to damage a habitation or place of worship. That's a first-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason I do not follow your plea and give you more than what you've bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand because you're entering into this plea bargain agreement, you're giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights to enter into this plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor, but I must put on the record, she was found incompetent at one point because she was off her meds. I thoroughly went over the sanity issue with her. There was a defense there, but it was not to the point that I thought she was insane. And so I'm just simply putting this on the record. Someone looked in the past and said she was found incompetent. And I had not put it on the record that I thoroughly examined it. I would worry about someone grading my report card. So I wanted to add more to that I thoroughly went over it, and I'm sorry to disrupt the court.
No, there's no disruption.
Oh.
Right. Ms. Phillips, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? It tells you what your agreement is with the state.
So the page she's talking about is the 10 years of probation that I showed you. She's asking if you looked over that with.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so what it says is your punishment is to be assessed at 10 years of the prison. The state is offering you probation. So the only way you could potentially go to prison for 10 years is if you were to violate the probation. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And they're asking that there be restitution to SRMZ, the number 4 Asset Company 2 LLC, or property owner of 8042 Chestnut Gate in Converse, Texas 78109. Did you understand that to be the plea? Is that your plea agreement?
What she's asking you is if you've agreed to the 10 years of probation and if you've agreed to make restitution for the fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? It's this paragraph here. Did you review that and sign that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, by signing that, you're giving up your right to appeal or complain about something that has happened. Did you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And the only thing that you can complain about our appeal on is if there were pretrial motions. Defense, have there been any pretrial motions?
Only the motion for competency, no dispositive motions.
Yes.
Just wondering, when do you think I'll be able to get out of jail?
All right, we'll get to that point.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
No problem. All right, so the state is asking that your probation be for a term of 10 years, that you have a TAP evaluation, community service hours, that you be placed on GPS, which monitors or shows people where you are, and that you have no contact with the location. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I don't have to follow that. That's just what the state is recommending. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so how do you plead to this case?
Mitch, I'm so sorry. I can't remember if I put no contest or guilty. I just can't remember.
You didn't write it in here at all.
You want to put guilty or no contest?
No contest?
All right, so how do you plead?
No contest?
State any evidence?
No objections.
All right, state you may be excused. Did you review the waiver? It's this piece of paper here. And what this piece of paper has in it is all the police reports and everything that I need to review to see if there's evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that you committed this crime. Did you review this with your attorney?
Did you look over those documents?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, did you understand that the state is not going to bring any witnesses? They just want me to read this document. Did you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and court will review the same.
Salazar?
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
So Judge, I know she wants to get out today. Here's the deal. I've heard you ask many times, what do you need to be successful? I know Ms. Phillips in her case very well after 4 years. She does have mental competency issue and she needs to be on medication. My concern is if you let her out today, that we make sure that she be evaluated so that she can be successful.
Oh, no, she will be.
Oh, okay. So in other words, yes, I want her to get out and she wants to get out, but I don't want to set her up for failure because you always ask people, what do you need to be successful? And actually listen to you. And she needs to be evaluated and needs to be ordered to follow through with the medications and the treatments. When she's treated and when she's medicated, she's a very nice young woman that follows the law. When she's not, she has issues.
Let me ask you this. Do you know, because I read the police report and in it, it says that she was upset. So she burned the couch because she was going to be, or she thought she was going to be sent to Houston. And she thought the staff was going to tell her mother she was going to Houston. So what is this location?
As I understand, I may not be getting it perfectly right. There's folks that run group homes for people that have disabilities. She understands what's going on, but as you probably can read between the lines, she's not going to get 100 on a test as an example.
Mhm.
And so this was one of those group homes where you live out in the community, but you live with other individuals and then someone monitors the group home and takes care of you. And I've represented a couple of people that do that. So that's the type of facility it is. It wasn't a lockdown facility or whatever. So she can function, but she can't function by herself if she's not with a parent or out there. Her mother called us and we spoke to her and her mother will pick her up whenever she's released, because that was my other concern. And I'm going
Well,
through.
let me
it with
ask you this.
Okay.
So with regards to Houston, is she going to be living with her mother?
She's going to start out living with mom, and then they're going to have to go through the group home application process again. And I'll just be blunt. This may sound strange, but the fact that someone has issues and set someplace in fire for these group homes is not, and doesn't mean they won't take her, because everyone in those group homes has some issues. So it won't be immediate, and her mom knows that she'll have to take her at first, and her mom called 2 days ago. I think it might have been Friday of last.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do. Is she receiving SSI?
I don't know that answer. Are you getting social security disability?
They cut it off,
Okay,
but my mom's gonna try to get me back on it, ma'am.
all right.
And thank you, Your Honor, for everything.
Oh, you're welcome. We're gonna try to get you to help, okay?
Yes,
This is what the
ma'am.
court is gonna do. Probation. This is what I'm going to do. I'm finding her guilty. I'm gonna sentence her to 10 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 10 years. There's a $1,500 fine that will be probated. There's to be restitution and no contact with SRM24 Asset Company 2 LLC or 8042 Chestnut Gate in Converse, Texas 78109. If there is contact made with that location and they say they want her back or they don't have an objection to her staying there, I'll lift the no contact order. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs. We can do a MIC evaluation in a DDRF in custody. If her mother has found a place for her to stay and that place is willing to accept her, then we can lift the order for DDRF, but I still want the MIC evaluation. There's to be proof of SSI within 45 days of release. There's to be no contact with minors. Field visits 1 time per month for 4 months. And would she want to be transferred to Houston?
I think she, no, I don't think so. Let me ask her real quick. Do you want your probation to be sent to Houston? In other words, I don't know where your mom's living. I'm sorry, I don't remember. Can you tell me?
Hopkins in
Where is that?
Cypress Springs, Texas.
Would you prefer that it be your probation be transferred there or
The
that you
Hunt
report?
County, the Hunt County,
Would you prefer that?
the Hunt County where my dad's at.
Okay, that's what you'd like and that's what you're asking the court to do?
Please, yes, sir, yes, ma'am.
All right, so this is what we'll do. Let's make some phone calls.
Understood.
And if probation, if her father wants her in Hunt County, and if everybody agrees that that's the best placement for her, we can always come back and take that matter up. Probation, is there anything else? I've given you a lot, I know. All right, is there anything else you need from the court?
I'm sorry to ask. I was just wondering when you think I'll be able to get out of jail?
Probation will be able to address that with you. First things first, I need to have that MIC evaluation done. It's a mental health evaluation at the jail. So that will give all the parties a chance to speak to your parents, to speak to this location at Chestnut to see if they would want you back and to try to find a placement for you. I cannot send you out into the world with no placement because then you won't have your medications and we'll be right back here. And if you were to violate your probation, you're potentially looking at 10 years in the prison. So I'm trying to make sure that that doesn't happen. In order to do that, there has to be safeguards, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and then there'll be GPS for half the term. And we'll do that partial for appointments. And that's for her medical appointments, probation, those type of things. All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Norma, are they ready? Oh, I didn't see him.
There's a line right here.
All right, who's here on Marcus Trammell? Marcus Trammell? Who's here on Jennifer Hernandez? And where's your client? All right, she needs to come down. Are you all proceeding on a motion to revoke?
Judge, no, there's two new cases. The offer is to.
Oh, I don't want to know what the offer is.
Well, includes dealing with the two new cases that have not been indicted. I can't deal with those. I don't have all the discovery yet, and we're not prepared to proceed on those cases.
All right, so there's a violation of condition number 4. So I'm going to recall this for a contested hearing. And you're all going to proceed with whatever you all decide to proceed on. Norma, recall this for a contested hearing. Do it the week of December 9th. What date? All right. But Sean, there's going to be a contested hearing on Jennifer Hernandez, December 10th at 9 a.m.
I have a conflict with that day, the 9th and 10th. I'll be out of the office.
All right, Norma, put it for December 12th.
Judge, I have a doctor's appointment on the 12th.
All right, Norma, put it for, no. Norma, put it for the week of December 2nd. All right, December 3rd. Oh, you know what, Norma? What do you think about putting it on December 4th, but they'll need to be here exactly at 9 a.m.? All right, December 4th at 9 a.m.
I have those pages, I guess.
All right, we'll see you back on December 4th at 9 a.m.
Judge, did she give you the pages on those cases that are my appointments? So you have.
No, I don't have your appointments.
Jesse Vega.
What's the
Also, I have this is a sand back time.
No.
Who's here on Jesse Vega? Jesse Vega, come down.
President, Mr. Vega. How are you this morning?
Oh, I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
And how's your wife doing?
Rough week.
Oh,
But there are days like that, can't get around it.
Mom always keeps her in her prayers.
Thank you very much.
Hello. All right, so on this case, where are we on discovery?
Judge, we have all the discovery in this case, discussed it with Jason Garahan. And this will be a plea, Your Honor. We got about a 2-week offset. It's the first time it's been set. I just got it on the docket.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you give me a 2-week reset for disposition?
Give me 1 second.
And it's on Jesse Vega.
I can do December. Let's do December 2nd.
All right, December 2nd.
That's fine, Your Honor. Thank you, might be excused.
Oh, you have another case on our.
I know, I'm still working.
Oh, okay, all right, thank
I'm
you.
leaving.
All right, thank you. You have any questions, sir?
No.
All right, thank you. And what page is Vega on?
9.
Thank you.
Who's your client?
All right, who's here on Audrielle Guy?
I am Judge.
All right,
So
where's Guy?
they were gonna bring her out.
Okay,
I didn't realize I was on the docket.
okay.
But we had some discovery issues that we were resolving.
Just for the court file, there's a discovery document with some new items that we turned over today. And then there's the second thing, Judge, is projected warrant for CPS records.
Okay.
No, he's gonna. I need you to start.
All right.
No, we're waiting for that.
Here's the phone, and then just wait for the.
So does that conclude all of the
Yes.
discovery? And State, were you able to tender an offer or no?
Not yet. I need to look at this,
At
Judge.
this point, there's.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna reset this. Norma,
Yes, ma'am.
reset Guy for December 19th,
I'll be here.
and State, you'll need to be prepared at that time to tender an offer.
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, I think you've already requested your client, is that correct?
Yes, I'll get her to sign the document, let me know what's going on.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
She signed it. Do you just put this in the file, Judge?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
They have a file.
Well, we still set for December 3rd, right?
The other one is number. One second.
Sure. Yeah, I was all here, just imagine something. That's what we're doing.
Hello, Miss Guy.
December 2nd.
Your attorney is going to speak to you about when your next court date is, okay?
Oh, perfect, thank you.
That time is not reset.
I'll get my investigator.
Just gave me 12/21 date December.
Vega, that's the one that you last week was the.
Yeah.
Okay, that was- or not the 20. The which? Hold on.
Yes, I don't want to confuse, I understand that.
Ms. Dyson.
Hey there. It's an approach on our tour once he has. How you doing today? Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Judge, which was the other case that Mr. Sawyer was set on?
No, it's Sandra Gaetan.
It's Gaitan, and I have it up here. Whenever they're ready, just let me know.
For violation of-
Yes.
Okay. Her original case is set on the 21st, so sorry about that. Look at the next one.
All right, let me know when you're all ready.
You ready on that?
We're ready.
All right, Sandra Gaitan. Have you had a chance to confer with the state on this?
Not yet.
All right, just have a seat. Your attorney's going to confer with the state. Do you have a copy of the violation report?
No, I don't, that's last.
All right, I'll give you this violation report. Just make sure you
Thank
give it
you very
back. It's
much.
the only one I have.
Okay.
And if you need a copy, they'll make one in the back for you. Roberto Andrade.
The 19th.
All right. So this is supposed to be disposition or jury trial. This was the last day for a plea deadline.
I don't know what we want to say about the offer.
Judge, I believe that defense has some questions on some at-large cases.
Yes.
Correct. So there was an offer made that he's prepared to take, but it was an offer that was pending review of some at-large matters, and I don't have an answer as to whether or not they're gonna be closed yet. I'll say, because I was talking to another prosecutor who's on vacation.
The prosecutor and your else
Yeah.
is out of town. He comes back Monday. However, I can check into it if they're outbound cases. I don't know where they're at.
All right, what I can do then is, since the other prosecutor is out, I can recall this for a different day when he comes back.
That's fine.
So when will he be back?
Be back.
All right, so what we'll do is we'll recall this for the 19th. Are you employed, sir? All right, what's your work schedule?
7:30, 5:30.
All right, are you able to take off on the 19th?
Yes.
That's next Tuesday.
All right. All right, so Norma, on this
I'm
case,
sorry,
it's going to
Judge.
be recalled for the 19th for disposition, or either be set for jury trial.
I can't on the 19th, Your Honor, but maybe Mr. Coombs can. I'll double check.
All right, I can move it to the 21st.
21st would be better.
All right,
Yes.
Norma, I'm sorry, the attorney is not available, so it's going to be November 21st. And that'll give the attorney time, if you'll drop
Sure,
by on Monday to remind him.
I will.
All right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Give me 1 second. I'll get you that. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Which is your?
Brown, Johnny. There's no form, so.
Trustee Brown?
I think that's what's.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I understand. We'll be ready on Santa.com.
All right, as soon as I put this in the system, I'll take them up.
Just want to make sure.
Just let me put this in the system, then I'll check, but the files are there.
No, I started walking around looking.
Thanks. Thought I asked.
Yeah.
Oh, Your Honor, here's your report back.
All right, thank you.
This could be fun. It's like, well, shit. Murder suicide, like a block over from my house last night.
So what it is.
Yeah.
Where were you?
Yeah.
All right, y'all on this one, she's still remaining, it has to be for DVRL. Okay. All right, Sandra Gatan.
You know, leave that briefcase over here.
Thank you. All right, first things first, where are we on discovery?
This is a violation report, Your Honor.
I know, and I'm just,
I have status turned over whatever they had, and I viewed it.
Okay.
Referred to Mr.
all right, so now that that's taken care of, now the violation report. We have, this is the third violation. And it's for high brack readings. State, what are you going to be requesting?
Say, it depends, that we be, asking for a RAM device, not a frame. So that since it is a third.
Is that an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. We'd like to take this recommendation. My client's definitely going to go with that.
All right, so this is what the court is going to do. The court will continue with, there's to be no driving. The in-home breath, she already is on an in-home breathalyzer. Do you all want to keep the in-home breathalyzer or do you want to switch to Scram?
Financial purposes, Your Honor, what the state is okay with it being, the RAM device being removed, it would be just some screen. And if anything else changes later on, ask it to be monitored sometimes.
All right, and I'm also going to order 120 sober support meetings in 120 days.
And so she is a student right now at SAC. She's 3 hours short of getting her associate's degree.
Okay.
3 hours, right?
And then I'm going to order the DUI and DWI education course. I'll ask that the fees are waived.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Norma, what date do you want this to come back? Can you give me a 30-day?
That's for November 21st already, Judge.
All right. Do you want to keep the November 21st date or you
Yes,
want?
Your Honor, November 21st is good.
All right. All right. Is there anything else?
That's all I have, Your Honor.
All right. You are excused. Norma, make sure she has a reset form. I know it's already set, but just to be on the safe side.
Get one right now, Your Honor.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you. Thank you.
You need a reset form for her?
Yes, the judge wanted one.
I just need a couple of more minutes.
No worries.
Um,
I'll go.
Yeah.
Anthony Harris. Where's Mr. Harris? Come forward. All right, today's plea deadline date. Are you requesting a jury trial?
Yes, John.
All right, how long do y'all expect this trial to last?
3 days.
All right, Norma, I need a jury trial setting, 2 days.
I think it's set for next week. Give me one
It is.
second. Oh. Really fast.
set on the 19th.
All right, we'll see y'all back here on the 19th.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Guy?
Yes, sir. What file yours? Joshua Bettis, can you please up there if it's not set, please?
All right, who's here on Joshua Pettis?
I am now.
All right, are you all ready to proceed?
Yes.
All right, Joshua Pettis. Court is calling 2021 CR 4513, State of Texas versus Joshua Pettis. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense.
Michael Bell, Wolf, Mr. Pettis.
And are you Mr. Pettis?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Joshua Daniel Pettis who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2021 CR 4513 for the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on June 9, 2022 for a term of 8 years?
ma'am.
Is that you?
Hmm.
State?
Your Honor, by the condition of the court, Cook County, Texas, Lieutenant Joshua Daniel Perez, the then failed to report to the supervision officer as directed to the month of July, and August 2004 violation of condition of the court.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
By the conditions.
No
Any
objections.
objection?
No objections.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Your Honor,
Yes.
that agreement is to deny the motion. Amend conditions to include state
No.
ISP.
Yes.
Actually, it is to grant the motion, and to assess, 5 years, Texas Department of Corrections.
Are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
No, ma'am. I mean, yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Okay. So can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Mm.
All right, you can lower your hand. Why were you not successful? I mean, you got to figure out why, so you won't be back here again. Because 5 years is a lot of time. Any time is a lot of time.
Yes, ma'am.
So what was going on with you that you couldn't successfully complete this?
Nothing really.
Okay. All right. Probation, was there ever any restitution?
There's no restitution notated.
All right. Defense, is this the agreement?
Yes, it is.
All right. The court will grant the motion, find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 5 years in the prison. There's to be no contact with Than, T-H-A-N-F, I'm sorry, T-H-A-N, P-H-A-N, James Drake, and Margaret Ivy. That's I-V-I-E. Court will give you credit for any time served. There is a $8,000 fine, time and money to run concurrent. And there's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. State, you may be excused. Here's the thing. life will pass you by so quickly. You're gonna have to make some changes. Otherwise, we'll be seeing you back here again. And as I tell people, there's always money for the government to find to build a prison to house somebody. And at the end of the day, if there's only supposed to be 10 inmates in the cell and they have to put 20 in it, they're gonna put 20 in it. You understand? All right, good luck to you.
Have a seat, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What page is Joshua Pettis on? All right, thank you. Marcus Trammell. Marcus Trammell? All right, we'll wait your attorney. Arturo Martinez? All right, where are we on this case? Is this, yes.
Defense counsel just turned over some of the discovery, or not discovery, so there's some information that I needed to do some discovery on.
Okay.
So we're asking for another setting for that discovery.
Okay,
I think we're getting close to a resolution.
all right. How much time are you asking for?
But I know that I hits right around Thanksgiving, so maybe 2.5, 3 weeks.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you recall this in December, please? You all are okay with the second week of December? All right, second week in December.
Number 10.
All right, December 10th.
Make sure.
Oh, and State, you may be excused.
Thanks. Yeah, that'll work.
All right, and what page is he on?
I am trying to look for him.
Page 10. All right, thank you. All right, once you sign the reset form, you excuse, and that will be the final date for plea deadline.
It's been 10.
All right, sure.
No, it should be in your email, in your email. You're welcome.
Do me a favor, because I cannot access my personal email, I mean, my work email on my phone. Type out. Yes.
Who's here on Randy Lissy?
Right.
Thanks.
All right. Court is calling 2024 CR 008806, State of Texas versus Randy Lissy. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense.
Robert Valdez for Mr. Lisi, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Lissy? All right, and probation, this is an application. Counsel, have you received all discovery?
Yes, I have, Your Honor. I think they're in the file. We signed
Oh,
some time ago.
I do not have one.
Turned it in.
All right, yeah. Can you make sure that there's an application, I'm sorry, that there's an acknowledgement of discovery on this case, because I don't have it in the file. Thank you. All right, so did you review all of the discovery with your client?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Lissy, did you review the application for deferred adjudication or community supervision with your attorney? Did you sign it? Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented? Did you review the admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right, you're gonna need to speak up so the court reporter can hear. You're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams. That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow that plea. If for any reason the court does not follow that plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? If the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Lissy, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, there's a $1,500 fine and the state is recommending deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
That is the plea, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea? Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor. No.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 120 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand that's a recommendation from the state and the court does not have to follow that recommendation? Then to the offenses charge, how do you plea?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
No objections, Your Honor.
State, you may be excused. Did you review the waivers with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. After reviewing States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We have no objections to the PSI, Judge.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Well, I think that this is his first offense, and I think that he is a good candidate for the punishment that he signed for, Judge, and we would ask the court to grant the application for deferred adjudication. And I think that my client will abide by the conditions set by the court.
All right, do you have any children?
I want
Age?
16.
Do they live with you? All right, so how often have you been using? And if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? All right, when's the last time you used? Well, I mean, this case, you say it's been a year. But let me see something.
Possession, I mean.
All right, so because there was meth in your vehicle, so you're saying you don't use?
No.
So that wasn't yours?
No,
I'm sorry?
No, no,
So whose meth was it?
it was a friend of mine.
I can't hear you.
It was a friend of mine.
It was what?
It was a friend of mine.
It was a friend of
It
mine.
was a friend of
Oh.
mine.
All right, so here's the thing. You're telling me you don't have a drug problem? Obviously you do. If you hang around with people who are using meth, then that's usually a group activity, maybe. So if you're telling me that you don't have a drug problem and you are not going to test positive, then I'm going to send you out into the world without any drug treatment. And if you turn up positive, that's a violation of your probation and they're going to file a motion to revoke. Do you understand? All right, Ms. Abrams, this is what the court will do. There's a $1,500 fine that will be prorated, 3 years deferred adjudication. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, proof of employment. What do you do? What do you do for a living? All right, there's proof of employment within 30 days. He says he's currently unemployed right now. I'm starting to pick up the cadence. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. When you're on probation, I require everyone to have employment. And according to probation's conditions, you must support your dependents and your minor children are your dependents. Do you understand? There's to be field visits 1 time per month for 6 months. And there should be the DOEP course, 120 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once those are completed, 60 hours will be deemed satisfied. Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. Probation will go over conditions.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Asphalt.
Judge, we did make another discovery in case y'all did.
Yes, I got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
I want to get kind of close to that.
Julian Rodriguez. All right, where's your client?
Your Honor, as of this time, have no contact with them. Despite best efforts of defense counsel, reach out to numerous numbers. We have not had contact, and I believe he's still not here, Judge, at this time.
All right. Just one moment.
Yes, Your Honor.
Deputy Laura.
Yes,
Is there
Judge.
anybody who can make an announcement for Julian Rodriguez? It's Julian Andrew Rodriguez. And then we'll go on the record.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Norma, what page was Lissy on?
Page two at the bottom, Judge.
Thank you. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 010023D State versus Julian Rodriguez. Can I have an announcement, State? All right, for the defense.
Renee Munoz.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 11:27 a.m. The defendant has not made an appearance. Deputy Laura, did you make an announcement?
Yes, Your Honor, I did. He is not in the hallway.
All right, defense, do you have any contact with your client?
As of this time, no, Your Honor, despite best efforts of defense counsel, showed up today at the 187th District Court at 9 a.m., not present, checked in again with the bailiff 30 minutes ago, still not present in court this morning, Judge.
All right, State request.
Yeah, we asked you to vote for non-judge this year.
Your Honor, we asked that the bond be increased to double the amount.
All right, the court will issue a judge's warrant, remand your client with bond. If your client makes an appearance, the court will reconsider.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Maybe.
All right, thank you. Yes.
What is that?
All right, what page is Rodriguez on? Thank you. Tyler Ashball. Good morning. All right, today is plea deadline day. All
Yes.
discovery has been received. Are you requesting a jury trial?
Judge, I'm actually requesting an extension on the plea deadline, and I'll explain why.
All right, let's hear the explanation.
So we were here on Tuesday, and you recalled us for today. Obviously, I know this case is old and you want to get it moving along. I understand that, but there were some legitimate discovery issues that we were resolving. I was expecting hopefully to have a little bit more time on Tuesday and for the state to give me an offer. I still have not received a firm offer on this case. I know that there's a new prosecutor on it. And I tried to come back yesterday. I saw you yesterday in court. The prosecutor that's handling the case was in a jury trial. And so I haven't received a firm offer. I have kind of an idea of a range of where it may be, but I don't.
Prosecutor.
It is, yes.
I'm texting right now, I'm calling right now. Sorry.
All right. So are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
What's your work schedule?
My work schedule varies from week to week, but usually night shift.
All right, so we can bring this back on the 21st.
Okay. Next Thursday?
Mhm.
Let's check. That should work, Judge.
Okay. Hi. Hello.
Let's see. I do have a scheduled hearing in Kerr County on that day.
I can put it on the 19th.
Okay. What about the 20th, Judge, on a Wednesday? Are you here on Wednesday?
No.
Okay. And not Friday?
No.
Well, I think I should be able to go both places in one morning, hopefully.
Okay,
think
well,
we
what I
can-
can do is I can put it on the 21st for the afternoon.
That would work.
All right.
Or actually, could we keep it the morning?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, and then if it needs to be, I'll
I'll
let Norma
notate
know.
that I'll notate that you may be in another county.
I appreciate that, Judge.
Right.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you for coming on.
All right.
All right, thanks.
What day was that?
November 21st.
Is that for the deadline, Judge?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
You're welcome. You too.
The 21st.
And what page is Ashball on?
Page 7.
All right, thank you. All right, who's here on grabs? Yes, where's Catherine Grabs?
She's not scheduled to board until Tuesday next week.
Okay, yes.
Yes.
What are you requesting?
I'm here on behalf of Anita Kim.
Okay,
She's requesting to withdraw. We have filed a motion to withdraw on all her cases. She's
okay,
having,
so she'll need to be, defendant will need to be present for me to rule upon it.
okay, I can come back next Tuesday then, on her trial setting.
Okay,
I can appear then.
all right,
On behalf of
okay.
Anita, is that okay?
Yes, that's
Okay.
fine. All right, thank
All
you.
right, sure.
Sure. They're gonna come back on the date that's set on. All right, Cameron, Nicholas Cameron.
Morning, Judge. He's in custody, Judge.
All right, come down. Where are we on this case?
Judge, I've got a deal worked out with Mr. Garahan, and another court is waiting on me right now. I'm hoping I was gonna come back tomorrow, but I don't think that's available, but I can come back and do the plea next week, Judge.
Okay, so let me see. I can have you come back on Monday, the 18th, for a plea.
I think that's fine. I'm already over here, Judge. If
Or do you want to come back this afternoon?
can't, I got a mediation I got to do.
Okay,
I'll be here Monday.
all right, Norma. Nicholas Cameron is going to be recalled for Monday for disposition.
Yes.
All right,
Thank you, Judge.
unless, and you say you need to be somewhere else now?
I've got to go to the impact court. I've got a plea going on right there, right now.
You got a plea going over there, and my plea is not important.
Oh, yours is, Judge. If I didn't have a mediation to do, I'd work through.
I mean, they can do the paperwork now.
Judge, I've got a $9 client that's mediation. I'm supposed to meet with him before.
Okay, we'll see you on Monday.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, we'll bring you back on Monday. Marcus Trammell.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, so my understanding, all discovery was received on this case.
Judge, since last time when we've reviewed all the discovery, there's TikTok videos that are uploaded on e-discovery, but we are not able to open them. So I provided the state with a external drive today to get copies of all of those videos.
Oh, okay. All right. Norma, can you give this 1 month reset for discovery? And Deputy Laura, we're going to take our recess at noon.
Number 16.
All right, we'll be back on December 16th.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Judge.
And thank you for dressing appropriately for court. You always do, though.
And that's what I told.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
I have to speak before.
All right, thank you. All right, Eric Michael Jones.
He's on the Zoom chat, I think.
He hasn't zoomed in.
I know, it's just, going over paperwork. Thank you.
What time are we coming back at? We got the meeting? What time are we coming back at the afternoon?
We're coming back, at 1:30.
Okay.
All right, everyone, we're recessing at noon. Oh, please have a seat. We're recessing at noon. So my understanding, they're swearing in one more person. So the cases that I'm going to take up are the cases that I have, and everyone else, you're going to have to come back at 1:30. No moaning, no groaning. It's Friday's Eve. I know we're not retired, but it's Friday's Eve. So the people I'm going to take up is Alex Miosek, Johnny Brown, Dominique Nicholson, and whoever's being sworn in over here. Those are the files that I have. All right, Alex Miosek. And probation, this is an application. Court is calling 2024 CR 3533, State of Texas versus Alex Miosek. Can I have parties announced for the record? State, defense,
And Lindsay Shaw for Mr. Miochek.
and is it Miosek or Miochek?
Miochek. You're right, Judge.
I didn't know if that is a hard C or not. All right, counsel, have you received all of the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review it with your client?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Miosek, did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
The lesser included charge, assault, family, bodily injury, not saying this.
Any objection?
No, Judge.
Did you review the court admonishments with your attorneys? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand that you're charged with the offense? I'm sorry, that the state is reducing your charge to assault, bodily injury, family as a misdemeanor? All right, off the record for a moment. So, don't put any more files. Okay, all right, thank you. We're back on the record. It's a class A misdemeanor. The range of punishment is up to a $4,000 fine and up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail. If you have a plea with the state, court does not have to follow that plea. If for any reason the court does not follow that plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent. Did you understand? All right, you're gonna need to speak up.
Sorry, that's fine.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes,
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
yes,
Did you understand that the court would grant your application for deferred adjudication? If for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine.
yes,
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Miosek, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? All right. According to the plea, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, family. The state is recommending deferred adjudication. They're taking in consideration AL 265720. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
yes, ma'am.
And you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent. Did you understand that to be the entirety of the plea? Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes,
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, no contact with Shelby Schultz outside of the app close and the BIPP course. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? to the offense, the lesser included offense, how do you plead? State any evidence.
No, Judge.
State, have you spoken with the complainant?
We have.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and consent with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor.
All right, are you employed?
Yes.
What do you do?
A consultant for exterior modeling for residential.
All right. And how many children do you have? And this is the only child with this person? All right, your relationship with her is over. The only contact you can have with her is through the app. If you contact her outside of the app, we're going to have a problem. And that contact with her through that app, there still must be no harmful or injurious contact. So what that means is no profanity, no disrespect. At the end of the day, this is the person you chose to be the mother of your child. And whether you love them or not, or have respect for them or do not, have respect for your child. And by respecting your child, that means you respect the mother. You understand? All right. Is there any alcohol issues with you? Because I was reading the report and I see that was an issue that perhaps may have started this.
No,
Your
All right. It's going to be 2 years deferred adjudication, affirmative finding of family violence, taking consideration AL-265720, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs. I'm going to ask for 30 sober support meetings in 30 days. And that's based upon what I see in the police report. There's to be no contact with Shelby Schultz, SCHULTZ. The only exception is through the app, APPCLOSE, and that contact must be no harmful or injurious contact. Proof of employment within 30 days, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. The BIPP course, 80 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once parenting classes are completed, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. And there will be field visits 1 time per month for 2 months. Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
no, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own, possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Do you have any questions about anything?
I think it's very clear.
All right, so in this court, communication is key to be successful on probation. If there are some issues, let your probation officer know. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always come back to court. I'm serious about that no contact order. If for some reason she reaches out to you, you need to, outside of that app, you need to let probation know, because what I can tell you, they will discover if you've had contact with her. Your relationship with her outside of parenting is over. You understand? All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
On Jose Barra, an agreement. Not in the group, so I have this afternoon, so can we do it Monday? Okay.
Yes.
Your Honor, on Jose Parra, he's right there on the front row at the end. We have an agreement for him to do time in the state jail on his case. But I'm not in your group before lunch and I have a plane to catch this afternoon. So I was wondering if you could do that plea Monday.
All right, State,
Yes, Your Honor.
are you able to do her paperwork for him now?
I'm halfway through paperwork right now.
All right, we'll see where we are and we may be able to take it up.
Okay.
And Deputy Laura, so you won't have to bring him back. Michael Geary. Where's the attorney?
I'm here, Judge.
Court is, and this is no application. Court is calling 2024 CR 6299 State versus Michael Aguirre. Can I have parties announced for the record? State,
Jason Garrett, Your Honor.
defense,
Abelardo Garza.
and are you Mr. Aguirre?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Aguirre, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No,
Just 1 second.
no, they're in there.
Yes, you're proceeding on the indictment as presented.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Yes, you are. And they're waiving the habitual.
Oh, they're waiving, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Right.
All right, any objection to the waive?
No objections, Your Honor.
Did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram? That's a state jail felony.
That's correct.
Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent?
Yes,
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
that's correct, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe so.
Mr. Aguirre, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, there's to be 180 days in the state jail facility. There's a $2,000 fine. There are no applications. State will take in consideration 2024 PF 19759. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, sir.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Contest. No contest.
State, any evidence?
Your Honor, state exhibit number 1 with all of its attachments.
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, state, you may be excused.
Thank you.
Did you review the waiver with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. Court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we just asked the court follow the agreement and we'd ask for 80-20.
All right, the court will find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 180 days in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. There's a $2,000 fine, time and money to run concurrent. The court will take in consideration 2024 PF 19759, and I'll request the therapeutic community for you. It doesn't increase the time that you're in custody, but it perhaps can help you with any drug problems you may have. Did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. How old are you?
I'm 52.
All right, time starts speeding by when you're in your 50s.
Right.
You're gonna have to stop using, otherwise somebody may end up having to identify your body. You understand?
That's correct.
All right, so when you're released from the state jail facility, if you need help finding treatment, if I'm here, I'll direct you, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, good luck to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, that'd be excused.
Yes. Who is here on Dominique Nicholson? Dominique Nicholson. Don't run. All right, you've been in trials.
I'm exhausted. I am exhausted.
All right, so where's your client?
He's here.
Come down. All right, so where are we on this case?
We're still just waiting. Yeah, we're gonna be ready whenever you set us,
All right.
but not
so-
today.
All right, no. We will not have your jury trial today, Mr. Nicholson. What I can tell you is we have a murder trial at the beginning of the month. And that's most likely, that may be potentially our last trial of the year because that will last long. But what I can do is I can put you at the beginning of the new year and your case will be the first. That's all I have. And all right, and here's the thing about it. Whenever I have jury trials, I don't want people to be rushed. I don't want your counsel to be rushed. I don't want the state to be rushed. And most importantly, since this is going to be a jury trial and not a bench trial, you don't want jurors perhaps thinking, hey, let's move things quickly because I need to do holiday shopping or I have people coming in. I'm not saying that they would do that, but why put the extra stressor on them to hope that they're listening to everything? I believe they would. I have faith in humanity, but I don't think anyone wants to be thinking, hey, are they thinking about leaving early? Are they thinking about holiday stuff? So Ms. Ferguson, can you give me a jury trial date for this in January? And how long do y'all expect the trial to last?
Your Honor, I would say at least 3 days for the state's case in chief.
Okay,
Yeah.
so give me 4 days. And what I can tell you is your attorney was not present a specific date because she was in a jury trial. So that's where we are. Just give me a date.
14. January 14.
All right, jury trial is January 14th.
We'll be ready to roll.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Mayor,
Yes.
this is off the docket, but I was here last week on an MTR where we reset the case and my client's mother had passed away and we've talked about her being transported from the jail to the funeral arrangements. Her family, the funeral, I have the funeral information, but it's Thursday, the 21st and 22nd. The family wants to actually bond her out, but then wants her to go back into custody the following Monday, obviously, because it's things, I told them it
Here's the
doesn't
thing,
work
once
that
they're
way.
bonded out, they're bonded out.
That's exactly what I explained to them. You don't get to just go back to jail. we
No.
want to, but, I was gonna see if we could come to court on the 25th. I know because of Thanksgiving, that's not an option. So just to cover it in case they decide not to wander out, I do have the funeral information.
All right, you'll have to get that to the sheriffs. They're
Okay.
the one who will be in charge of transporting.
Do I need an order from you?
No, you just, well, it would probably be best.
Yes.
And I will let them know that I have no objections to her going to the funeral.
Okay, so
Yes.
maybe draft like a motion and order. Is it
Yeah,
okay?
I'll tell you what, if you can come back this afternoon, I'll call the people while you're here.
Okay, I will be here. Sounds good.
All right,
Thank you.
sure.
Okay, I'll draft.
And then, should we have this hearing? You won't be quiet. I'm hearing this. We're really talking.
Oh, well, I'll see. Okay, thank you. All we can do is try. All right, Johnny Walker Brown. Court is calling 2024 CR 008797 State versus Johnny Walker Brown. Can I have parties announced for the record? State? Defense?
Stephen Harkowitz for Mr. Brown.
All right, and probation, this is an application. Did you review the discovery with your client and have you received all discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. And are you Mr. Brown?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented? Did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams? That's a third-degree felony.
Yes, ma'am.
Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in the prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Brown, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, there's a $1,000 fine and the state recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did
Yes.
you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 120 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand that those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, ma'am.
State any evidence.
No objections.
State you may be excused. Did you review the waiver with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. After reviewing the same, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
I would just ask the court to follow the recommendation. Mr. Brown lives in Natalia with his fiancee. They have 1 child. They have another child on the way. He tells me that he is working and he's working really hard. So he's understands he's going to have to juggle his employment and comply with his court and certainly is
Where's Natalia?
a little south of.
South.
Medina County Judge.
All right, so are you all able to still supervise or no?
Yes, Judge.
All
Well,
right,
he tells me he lives in Beer County,
Yeah,
he's right on the, like.
It's right on the edge of Bear County and Medina County.
all right. So let me ask you this. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Should be negative with methamphetamine, but I did take some pain medication for my back.
Is it prescribed to you?
No, ma'am, it's not.
You're not supposed to do that.
I know. I'm
And that's
sorry.
not good because you obviously have drug issues. All right. And here's the thing. I need you to be honest with me. And let me just tell you why. If you use drugs today, you are not on probation, so it's not a violation. I'm trying to figure out what are the best conditions for you so that you can be successful. So let's not start off by being untruthful with me, okay?
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
So guess what? Wherever we are now, we're all trying to improve in our life. I'm trying to be a better person. Everybody in here is. So where you start out is just hopefully this is not where we'll end up, okay?
No, ma'am, it won't.
So if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? What are you going to be positive for?
Pain medication. I don't know. This is amphetamine.
Sorry, what?
A pain medication, amphetamine, I guess it is.
Mhm.
Hydrocodone.
And whose medication is that?
It was my dad's.
All right. And you say it was your dad. Is your dad currently alive?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So that's his pain medication
ma'am.
and you took it. Does he know you took his medication? No. So that's an issue.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, it's not an apology to me. It's your father needs that medication for his pain and you're taking it. Do you know how deep that means you are into your addiction? Yeah, I mean, if you take somebody's medication and you don't tell them and it's for their pain, you are deep in the throes of your
It
addiction.
was with an older prescription of his.
That's an excuse.
No, I
That's not
know.
your meds. It's his. Now, does your fiance work?
Yes.
What are her hours?
She works from home, so she's at home. She works from like 8 to 5.
And is she using?
No, ma'am. We just moved in together like
How long have you known her?
2 years, 3 years now.
And she knows about your drug issues?
Yes, ma'am. She knows that I was.
Well, I mean, no, you're clearly still in the throes of your addiction.
Yes.
It's not, it's current.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court is going to sentence you to 3 years deferred adjudication. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular random UAs, $1,000 fine to be probated, proof of employment within 30 days, no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. There's to be field visits 1 time per month until further notice. I'm going to want a TAP evaluation out of custody. Follow all TAP recommendations. There's to be 120 hours of community service restitution. There's to be 120 sober meetings in 120 days. I'm going to order parenting classes. Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No.
Would you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. In this court, we can go off the record. In this court, to be successful on probation, communication is key. And the next time you come before me, you need to bring more than tears of disappointment. You need to do some action.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
part of that action is accepting responsibility and not making excuses.
Yes, ma'am.
The fact that you made an excuse that, oh, the medication is expired, that means nothing. You took medication that did not belong to you and your father needs it for his pain. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you. And this is, you're gonna go ahead and see over here and talk.
And Bashan, I know that felony drug court there, I don't know if they're accepting anymore, but see if felony drug court will accept him.
Hello, so we have an offer, and I forget what the procedure is. No,
Nola, I'm not taking up any other cases. This is my last plea. Everybody else will need to come back after. Eric Kelly.
Present, Judge.
All right, is this going to be jury? What are we doing here?
Well, Judge, we just got an offer today,
Okay,
and in fact, there's a possibility that we might do two different things. One offer that involves my case, one offer that involves Mr. Campion's case. Mr. Zamora was here, but his cases, I think, are still unindicted.
all right.
And so since it was our first day getting an offer, our client would, of course, like some time to mull that over. There's some other cases out there that we need to make sure are going to be taken care of and find out how they would, we've got a couple misdemeanors in Guadalupe that we're concerned about. And still a violation of bond or protective order that we can't figure out whether that's related to here or there.
All right, Norma, set this for a plea deadline date, December 19th.
Except,
What?
except I'm out from December 10th to January 10th.
All right, Norma, set this for a plea deadline date, December 9th. Okay,
That's fine, Judge, but I can't go to trial if,
it's your plea deadline date.
okay.
All right.
So it'll get reset if we're going to trial? Okay. All
Okay,
right, thank you, Judge. We
You're welcome.
appreciate it.
all right.
Bernie had to be in federal court at 1, so that's why we kind of wanted to rush up here.
Okay, no problem. All right, this is the last case we're taking up before our break. Court is calling 2024 CR 5005, State of Texas versus Jose Luis Parra. And probation, there's no application. Can I have parties announced for the record? State, defense.
Brenda Levenstein for Mr. Para.
Are you Mr. Parra? Counsel, have you received all of the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes.
Mr. Parra, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, waive the repeater allegation.
Any objection?
No.
Did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with the offense? I'm sorry, did you hand me that back?
Yeah, I think you need.
I don't have a copy.
Oh, I gave it to him already. You want me to?
Yes,
Okay,
that's okay. So let me sign that one.
all right. Thank you.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, he has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Mr. Para, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes,
Are you a U.S. citizen?
yes,
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, sentencing is to be set at 8 months in the state jail facility. There's $1,000 fine and no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense is at the plea.
It is.
State is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence.
State offers case exhibit 1 with attachments.
No objection.
All right, state you may be excused. Did you review the waiver with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 in attachments. The court has reviewed the same. Court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Just, I'd like you to follow the plea bargain agreement.
All right, the court will find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 8 months in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. There's $1,000 fine. Time and money is to run concurrent. There's to be no contact with Walter Jordan Paddleford, Padelford. I'll recommend the therapeutic community. It doesn't increase the time that you're in custody, but it'll help you perhaps if you have drug issues. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items, I'm sorry. Did you review, it's long. Did you review the trial court certification? All right, with your attorney. And you understood it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. Let me ask you a question. What was the most painful tattoo? All of
Everybody
them?
asked me that.
Yeah,
None of-
none of them were painful? Not even the ones around the eye? Okay, all right, well, good luck to you. Have a great day.
I just wanted to add one more thing. He's got, the clerk has told me he's got 122 days.
Okay, they'll make sure the credit is there.
And
All right,
thanks
good.
for squeezing us in.
All right, you're welcome. Have a good one. Safe flight.
Thank
The dismissal judge from the previous plea.
All right, thank you. All right, so everyone, we're not coming back at 1:30. We're going to come back at 2.